Roasts look like public punishment, but Jeff Ross frames them as something closer to a reset button. Listen for how he connects Tom Brady, Charlie Sheen, and Justin Bieber to the same strange PR strategy.
A lot of fun material that was current at the time.
But here's another reason why it was great for him and why it was the greatest roast of all time.
Made him look normal.
He humanized him. All those jokes about Giselle, Deflategate, whatever else, he's never going to hear that again.
Ever.
It's over. It's hacky. It's done. So it solved that problem. If that was a perceived problem, then that's over with.
Now it's just a recycled joke.
Right.
Buddy, we saw the roast.
Get some new material.
Get some new material, guy.
Yeah. Well, there's probably plenty of that.
There's
But.
No, we have to go over some of the old roasts. I mean, you had Charlie Sheen on. What's one thought to the Charlie Sheen roast?
The Charlie Sheen roast is one of my favorites because Charlie and I had been on the road together. I didn't know him, but he was like flaming out on the road. He was like going through some shit. And he had a show that he was doing. It was like, the hell was it called?
3.5 Men.
No, it had some crazy name. The
Wasn't that
Torpedo of Truth Tour.
Oh,
Right? It was like Winning and Tiger Blood.
that was right after the Brian Wilson shit. I'm winning.
Yeah, 2011. My violent torpedo of truth / defeat is not an option.
Right.
Tour.
Like he was
A
bombing.
little wordy.
Every
little
time you
wordy.
have a slash in the title.
So
it's
he's
always
like,
a good
Jeff, a couple of people mentioned me to him. So he called me one night and he said, can you get on a plane tomorrow morning and show up at my show in Atlantic City and just come out and roast me when I start bombing? I go, okay, I need a hazmat suit and a podium. I'm going to make like there's a bomb scare. And I come out, I wrote some jokes on the plane. I did like 5-6 minutes and it went really well. He says, can you do tomorrow in Philly? And then I do that. He's like, can you do Detroit next weekend? So we wind up doing 8 shows. So every city, I had more and more Charlie Sheen jokes because it was like,
There was a lot of material then too.
and he was like, yeah, but everybody was accusing him of being a crackhead and all this. I was like, his life was bad.
Oh yeah.
I said, Charlie, if you're winning, something's wrong with the scoreboard. A lot of jokes.
All-timer.
Yeah, there was a lot of good jokes. But then when we finally so after a few of those, I was like, why don't we just do this on Comedy Central? And he's like, great. And we did it on Comedy Central, and Mike Tyson was on it, and it was like a pretty bro-y roast. And I realized I was going to be sitting between Charlie Sheen, who was like this infamous character now, and Mike Tyson. So I dressed like Gaddafi. Gaddafi was like in hiding, like his government crumbled in Libya. Nobody knew where he was. So I was just like, let me just come out as Gaddafi. I look just like him. So that was
You love a good costume.
Oh yeah. I got a good surprise coming for next week.
We have a good surprise.
Yeah.
What about Alec Baldwin? How was that a roast?
Alec Baldwin was a good one. That was like the last one before the pandemic, I think. And he was a good sport. An Alec Baldwin roast now would be a lot better for reasons that you can Google. But I remember it being fine. You know what? It got super real. Like the comics were funny. Robert De Niro was there. Ken Jeong was there. Caitlyn Jenner was there. So there was a lot of fun celebrity jokes. But the highlight for me was his daughter. His daughter roasted him. So imagine your worst nightmare. Like
Oh my God.
his like somewhat estranged daughter, his daughter with Kim Basinger.
In the voicemail.
And she killed it. And I asked him after, he's my neighbor in New York, and he said, that roast was great, but my daughter, that's the one that stung.
What about David Hasselhoff?
Hasselhoff was fun because I didn't want to do it. So when you don't care, I was like, listen, sometimes like I'm in these meetings,
Why don't you want to do David Hasselhoff?
I'll tell you, I'm in the development of these roasts. So every week we have calls going, who should we get? Sometimes the calls are incoming, people want to be roasted. They're not always the person you want. So then they go, all right, we're locking in David Hasselhoff. And I'm like, I guess it's better than not having a roast. So I call my buddy. I mentioned it to John Mayer, who's a good buddy of mine. And he's like, dude, don't stress it. He goes, sometimes I don't want to play the hits, but you got to kind of do what the audience, and the audience is going to love seeing you rip into David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
So we got Seth MacFarlane to MC it, and the jokes can be, when you don't really, look, David Hasselhoff, very nice guy, but he wasn't my favorite actor. I wasn't like a super fan.
Yeah.
So it allowed me to go in hard.
Deep.
Yes. Yeah. He had that show about Knight Rider.
Oh, yeah.
I go, what's the odds an alcoholic would create a show about a car that drives itself? Seth MacFarlane told me that was his favorite joke. I came out in like a fucking Speedo or something, if I recall.
Oh, yeah. With the leather jacket.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh,
costume.
see the white. So my
Did you have your appendix taken out?
No. What that is my jokes. I go, you guys want to hear some dick jokes? And I reach into my crotch and I pulled out my jokes.
Dude, I remember when
Oh my God.
another great roast, Bieber. Bieber almost started crying. That was a big roast. Back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was huge.
You know what?
That was an incoming call.
Really?
Very rare. Big star. Incoming call. Oh my God, I dress like the Pope.
That was an all-timer.
Yeah.
incoming call. What was your favorite one about that one?
Bieber and his manager at the time, Scooter Braun, they were like, we have this massive album coming out. Like he hadn't really had a hit in a while. He was going through some like young guy shit with like crashing a Ferrari and doing like some immature shit. But he had this grown up album in the chamber. So they were like, how do we put all the past behind us? And kind of just reset our life. And a roast. So it was their idea. So that was big. That was big because Kevin Hart hosted it. I talked to Pete Davidson yesterday. He's like, I can't believe it's been over a decade since that Bieber roast.
It's crazy.
And I saw Justin at the Fanatics football event. And Justin, every time he sees me, he hugs me and says, that roast saved my career. Thank you.
Man.
Now he's taking over Coachella, man.
Now he's Justin Cella.
Yeah, it's
Beat
crazy.
Coachella, baby.
Now, who's someone in history that may not be alive that you would love to roast?
Oh, my God. Dude, Stevie Wonder would be my top of my list.
Do you think getting roasted can genuinely rehabilitate a celebrity, or does it only work when the audience already wants to forgive them? Leave your take in the comments and like and subscribe for more clips like this.